Welcome back. A smiling image of Segun Sowunmi, former DG of Jonathan-Sambo Campaign organization in Ogun State. And why not? His man won. Morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Good morning, Chamberlain. Good morning, guys.
Well, just trying to get, Mr. Gala, I was trying to talk about the lessons for him in Ekiti. But I've read some tweets who are talking about, look, the difference of what's going on in Ekiti and how people didn't understand what the issues were. What happened on the day?
You see, I laugh when I listen to the commentaries of especially the APC followers who found it extremely difficult to accept the results in Ekiti. Even though their governor has conceded, they consider it to be a shock. But for us in the PDP Southwest, we know it. We saw this coming about 6 weeks ago. How did we come to the conclusion that we were absolutely sure that we would defeat them in Ekiti? It was because we knew the enigma called Fayose. Extremely hardworking, will leave no stone unturned, will penetrate to the lowest and the largest sector of the society. And we saw the stipulated arrogance of the so-called elite middle class who began to deceive themselves that when the chips are down, politics is not about numbers. And that when one man will have one vote and the one man's vote will count, ultimately those people that you disregard may matter. There are distinct publics in politics. You know there are teachers there, they're a very big class. If you start losing them, you are losing the election. There are civil servants there, they're a very big class. If you start losing them, you're losing the election. There are student community there. If you start doing arbitrary increase in fees, start doing all sorts of things that does not connect to them at their own level, you're going to lose the election. There are Okada riders there that are maybe lower level persons in the society. If you don't connect with them, you are losing the election. What happened? What was the structure we used in Ekiti that made us defeat them and most likely will defeat them in Osun? You see, the party PDP seems to be the only party in Nigeria where you see us do a lot of struggle within our party.
Just a moment before you go ahead to, enumerate the things that made you win.
Yes.
I want to know if you were involved.
Yes, I was.
You were involved in
I was.
the
That's what I was going to tell you. Yes, I was. I was in the sense that there is a platform that we call the Southwest Mobilization and Contact Committee. As luck we have it, the chairman for the entire process in the Southwest is a Prince Buruji Kashamu, who is very, very big in the politics of Ogun State. And you could only imagine the level of mobilization we did. In spite of all the effort that Fayose was doing as a candidate, we put in place a very robust structure there that included his Omoolu Foundation, wherein we were recruiting as much as 200,000 people in Ekiti State. We opened offices there, and we have opened in all the southwestern states. We put money there in the real sense of money. We put empowerment tools there. We took kerosene there. We took Okada bicycles there. We took rice there. Whatever it is that we needed to take to that place, we took. And we brought a robust machinery that suggested that, no, we're going to be on the ground and we're going to be providing support. We took canvassers in every polling booth. This organization put in 25 canvassers at our cost, at the cost of the chairman, that, look, over and above whatever it is that the candidate is doing, be canvassing continuously. And we gave them a target. In every polling booth, for each of the 25 canvassers, our instruction for you is bring us 4 people. So that means that technically we have already started trying to canvass about 100 people for him via the canvassing. Those who are in politics understand what we do canvass. And the candidate himself is very hardworking and very popular. Why did Fayemi, gentleman, obeying and nice, why did he lose? You see, there is a tendency, when he said there's a new social discourse now that needs to be discussed, what he's saying, and it's true and he's right about, is that there's a new tendency in the country, mostly observed in the Southwest. One, you cannot claim to be a progressive in the real sense of the word and act contrary to progressive. It is on becoming of the kinds of wealth you see some of the individuals who are claiming to be progressive having, which was not the usual thing that the progressives have. Two, when ACN was a purely Southwestern party, the Yoruba people could probably see it as their party. Once they moved from being a purely Southwestern party, they lost the exclusivity of saying that this is a purely Yoruba party, because it then began to compete with space in the minds of people with the PDP and all that. Beyond that, the culture of imposition. That is a party that is very used to looking for somebody from outside, superimposing him on the structure of their people that are on ground, and oftentimes than not, those ones now assume leadership on the back of their genuine progressive and begin to act contrary to carrying them along and carrying them forward. You will now see that if you look...
I thought that is, well, it runs across all
in our own
political parties.
In our own, in the PDP, where we are, we hardly have a need to go and look for somebody that is not a member of our party. Most oftentimes than not, it is members of our party who may be disgruntled or may have lost favor that they keep shopping for, forgetting that it takes time for you to build that brand that you are trying to create. So they did it in a hurry. On top of that, there's also the fact that in the Southwest today,
I'm sorry,
younger people...
I didn't get the explanation of that third position on, the situation in Ekiti. He was imposed on the party?
No. You see, what I'm saying to you is that whatever, you should ask that, why did ACN win in 2007 in the first instance? Then you will see the connect. The ACN as a political party won in 2007, not for the activities of Bola Tinubu, but because of the quality of the governance that Fashola was delivering. And it became the brand that was bringing about that domino effect.
Whom a
that
lot
brought
of people also thought was imposed
yes,
on the party.
It was a member of their party. It was within Lagos State. But when they now got that success, what did they do? They now sought to go to other locations and rather than bring members of their system that have been with them, progressive, running parties and all that, they opened it up for reasons best known to them and brought all sorts of all-comers. Now, what happened is that we now found out that more than ever before, members of their own party were the ones who were screaming to us at the background, the guy must go, they are not carrying us along, we are feeling disgruntled.
Well, in Ekiti?
In Ekiti, in Ogun, in Osun, in Oyo. The truth of the matter is that as a political party, we are in opposition now. So there is a limit to what we have to be able to dispense in terms of goodwill to the electorate and to the masses. But when we now begin to see that their own members, who are still card-carrying members of their party, come to us either during the day and during the night or in contact that these people are not carrying us along, these people are not keeping us, we're not feeling them, these people are just doing it as if they are too superior to us. Hey, don't be deceived. Politics, all politics is local.
You're talking about sorry to cut you there because I'm trying to see how much we can cover before we leave.
Yes.
You're talking about the effect of some of these classes. You give class groups, and you talked about teachers, civil servants, and so many others. Perhaps let's start from that and look at the class effect in the Ekiti politics.
If you ask the teachers that have been used to working in Ekiti ordinarily without really explaining to them and carrying them along, that it's time now to start doing examination to re-certify themselves that they are competent and capable of teaching. Is that likely to be a very popular thing in an election year? Obviously not. If you tell Okada riders that you are going to slam them with a lot of taxes, you are going to make it too difficult for them to plow and do the little things they know, is that going to be comfortable? If you tell students that, even in state schools, especially for people who ordinarily free education has to be their credentials that they carry, you tell people in the state schools that the fees have become extremely expensive. You are not encouraging reducing the fees. You are trying to say that if we can't afford to put the fees at a low rate, how can that connect to students? And these are big publics. If you act in a manner that your English is so sophisticated, you are speaking from your nose, the market woman cannot even hear what you're saying really. You cannot speak the dialect sometimes. You cannot come to their level and play with them and mingle with them. They will see you as distant. And once you start to hear civil servants saying they are not treating us well, you start hearing teachers saying we are not getting our dues, you start hearing students say the fees are too much. You are connecting big voting public. All that needs to happen is that you find a political party who also knows how to win elections anyway, come on board, put multiplicity of processes. While Fayose was working very seriously on the field, working very hard, we also brought the Southwest Mobilization and Contact Committee we almost converted it into a party, if you ask me.
Were you talking to members of other political parties? Because you're saying canvassers were tasked to bring at least 4 people. Were they also speaking with members?
When you are canvassing, let me tell you what happens on election day, really, or a few days before election. If you put your infrastructure right, the people, I think, generally they're not too excited about either Mr. A or Mr. B, really. They will be looking at what is their friend saying, who is giving who what is who getting. Let me tell you, the level of poverty in the land means that sometimes some of this largesse helps. And people like leaders that seems to be active and almost like movie stars. You see Fayose will just run, he will sit down, he will get on Okada. These kinds of theatrics excites the people. And if the people are excited, and please, take nothing from it, it is excessive arrogance to think that somebody that has been governor in Ekiti before and has won an election before, has defeated an incumbent before, is a fool or doesn't know how to govern. Clearly, he knows how to govern. It is just that he knows also that that style, if he tries to put on a suit and put on a tie and begin to speak with his nose and point his finger and does like this, like he's come from America, he knows that he will disconnect with the people.